and then cast, Leonardo DiCaprio or something, just because he's gorgeous. It would be eccentric, to say the least. And the great thing is to say, here's Tim Spall, who's done, he's played main parts for me before, but he is a sort of, in the old-fashioned Hollywood sense, a character man. But all the actors I work with are character people. They're character actors. They don't just play themselves. They're versatile. They don't mind being gross, because we as people, real people, are beautiful and gross, And the great thing is to subvert all those expectations. Say, okay, here is this guy. Same as what we did with Vera Drake. Imelda Staunton, fantastic, incandescent personality and a wonderful actress with a massive sense of passion and humour and everything else. But she's nobody's idea of a conventional gorgeous movie star. But what she does in that film, completely dissipating any notions of what a heroine in a film should or shouldn't be or look like or anything, is fantastic, 1990, we made Life is Sweet, and he shot everything I've done ever since.
So was there new technology involved with how he made this, and was that interesting for you to get into?
Yeah, we shot this on a Arriflex Alexa digital camera. We made a short for the Olympics in London, Olympic Games, called A Running Jump, a comedy, just before we made this film. So we tried that. He's actually shot digitally himself on other movies. For me, it's the first.
Do you feel like there is a dearth of quality films being made or ambitious films being made in the world?
Well, did you say in the world? Is that what you just said?
Well, I think independent film is now a worldwide thing.
Well, this is the point. I have to say, and I know I'm sitting right here in the city of Los Angeles, but the fact is there are two things on the planet: world cinema and Hollywood. And world cinema is very, very diverse and rich and quite often poor and low budget and plugged into the real world. People are doing all kinds of really interesting things, and that is what I feel part of. If your question is about Hollywood, then that's a whole different matter, and I think some very interesting things have always and continue to happen in Hollywood, particularly in the areas of experimenting with new technology to commercial ends. But there's such a diversity of stuff going on in the world, if you really look at the world properly, in terms of filmmaking, both feature film and now documentary filmmaking, that I think it leaves one feeling very positive about it, really.
Well, it's funny because
you just have to remember that it's all going on out there where we are, which is in Europe, in Asia, in Australasia, in Africa, and not least in Africa,
And getting easier to access, which is the great thing,
Because of that is the great thing. The new technology, it's not just about multi-million mega-buck movies. It's about the fact that there is this high-quality, cheap equipment that people can get their hands on and get straight out there. Young filmmakers don't have to worry about laboratory costs, about getting hold of film stock, hiring expensive cameras. You get hold of the technology, get out there and make a movie, and it's great, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, people say, yes, but that means that it's just, it's downgraded the quality and it's dumbing down all that stuff. Well, that may be true, that may be a downside, but it's not a downside to worry about, because the upside is positive, is that very good, interesting and creative things can and do happen with this fantastic tool.
And if you can light, you can light.
Say again?
Just because the technology is cheaper doesn't mean that a good piece of lighting is not still a beautiful piece of lighting.
No, and witness Mr. Turner, I hope.
And bad lighting is still bad lighting.
Absolutely.
Not every technology.
And you can point the most expensive camera in the most expensive studio at the worst acting you've ever seen.
Yeah.
But,
so
ridiculous people in this part of the world who try and, like medieval soothsayers and people practicing witchcraft or something, they think that they can get on top of that and anticipate things, and they think they understand the zeitgeist or whatever it is, and they think they can make formulae which solve the problem, so that we know what's going to be commercial, we know what's going to be successful, we know what they want, which is of course complete and total bollocks, really, because you can't. You can only work from a response to the world and what you think's interesting, and that's it, really. I mean, who's to decide?